Hello, welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we are going to make a soap using these cute little molds I found at Walmart. I was running in to grab something real quick, and I went past a holiday display, and these are silicone molds. They're flexible, and they're made out of silicone, and so these are soap safe, cold process soap safe. You could do a melt and pour soap. I'm going to do a cold process soap, and then we'll do some mica painting afterwards to sort of decorate on the little details of the gingerbread men here. I thought this was so cute. And so just a word, anytime there's a holiday, look at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any craft store for silicone molds. I think these are made for baking. You could bake little gingerbread in them, but any silicone mold is going to make a great soap mold or a lotion bar. You could do a solid lotion bar. You could do a shampoo bar. So really let your mind kind of go with the options and all of the things that you can do with a cute mold like this. I just thought this was adorable. And I do have some fragrances that discolor. They have a heavy vanillin content, which is usually very yummy, foodie type scents, which would be perfect for a gingerbread shape. So I'm going to go to my fragrance shelves and pick out a discoloring fragrance on purpose so that our gingerbread men will come out a nice toasty color, and then we'll come in and do some decorating on them. And I was just so tickled with this mold. Stuff like this just makes me happy. So anyway, look out for those holiday molds. I saw ones with Christmas trees and like ornaments, you know. Man, there's so many options out there. So keep your eyes peeled for things like that. Around any major holiday, you can usually find some fun theme type molds. So I have to get everything prepped and ready to go. And the full recipe will be written down in the description box below. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do. It sends YouTube the message that you're enjoying my content. So thank you so much. Let's get into making some gingerbread man soap. Gingerbread man and ginger ladies. And we are back, and it's time to make our little gingerbread men and women. I'm just so crazy about this mold. So what I did was I set this on my scale, teared it out, and I filled one of these cavities up with water. It was actually 2.3 ounces that filled these. So I rounded up to a 14-ounce batch of soap. So I'll have a little extra. I have a flower mold off to the side, but I would rather err on the side of generosity than come up short. So that's how I figured out how much these we're going to require for soap batter. And the fragrance that I chose that does discolor to brown is called Sage and Cinnamon from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and this smells so good. I don't know what it is about that combination. It's a little earthy, it's a little foodie, it's delightful, and it kind of reminds me of gingerbread for some reason. I don't know. But the usage rate on this was 17% for soap. I would never soap a fragrance that high. I don't know, I just wouldn't. So I am fragrancing at 5%, and I'm hoping it comes through perfectly. I will let you know when we unmold these if I'm smelling it, but the reviews said it had good scent retention. A few people said it separated, some said they had no issue, so we'll watch out for that separation, and it does discolor to brown. So there is that. And even though this is going to discolor to brown, I've decided to add a little bit of this blushed bronze mica from Wholesale Supplies Plus because it is very, very glittery and sparkly, and I'm hoping a little bit of that sparkle will come through just to add some dimension to these. So I'm not going to add a lot, but just a little, and I'm hoping they'll have a little bit of glitter to them. So there is that plan, and let's get to the recipe. So the first ingredient we need is a soaping staple. It's coconut oil. I need 3 ounces or 85 grams of coconut oil. All right, and our next ingredient is tallow, and I need 1 ounce or 28 grams of tallow. And what I have here is home rendered tallow, which I think is fabulous. Okay, and our last hard oil is mango butter, and I need 1 ounce or 28 grams of mango butter. All right, now I'm going to go pre-melt my hard oils and butters here for just a little bit, and then we'll come back with the liquid portion. All right, we are back for the liquid oils, and the first liquid oil I need is castor oil. I need 0.5 or half an ounce or 14 grams of castor. And the next oil is avocado oil. Wonderful skin benefits in that. I need 1.5 ounces or 43 grams of avocado oil. All right, and our last oil is grapeseed oil. I'm not using olive oil, I'm not using sunflower oil. I decided to use this, and the reason why is I went to Costco to get some more sunflower oil, and they didn't have any, but they had grapeseed oil, and I had some at home, and it got me thinking, why don't I use that as my base liquid? And I ran it through the numbers. I liked the amount of cleansing and gentleness and the bubbles, and I liked all the things that it brought to the table. So we're using grapeseed oil. I need 3 ounces or 85 grams of grapeseed. Okay, so these are all the base oils, and to this I'm going to add my 5% of fragrance oil. And I know I frustrate some of you because I don't give you the fragrance amounts, and I do that on purpose. Twofold. One is, if you're a maker, it's really important for you to learn how to calculate percentages, and if you can't, take your totals, Google, say, what is 5% of 14 ounces? And it will tell you. So you don't even have to be good at math. And the other is, not all fragrances have the same usage rate. So I'm usually never going to tell you this amount because I want you to look up whatever you're using. So that is why I don't give the exact amount, except to say 5%. Let me give this a quick little buzz with my blender, and then we will get to our additives going in here. All right, this is a very tiny batch of soap. So I am going to do my kaolin clay here, and I'm going to guess that this is about a teaspoon of clay. Maybe a little generous on that. And I'll try to do the same here with the oats. I'm going for about a teaspoon because this is a teeny little batch, but it's so cute. And because we are not doing any swirls or anything, I'm going to go ahead and add the mica right on in here before we get our lye solution over. And it just makes blending super easy. This is so sparkly and beautiful. I just love it. I'm really hoping a little bit of sparkles come through in the soap. That would be, I think, so pretty. All right, let's get this blended up, and then we will get onto our lye solution. All right, we are back. Look at that gorgeous color. I wish that would come through, but with the discoloring, it is going to go darker brown than that, but that is just so pretty. Let's enjoy that for a minute. I love it. Okay, here is our lye solution. And to this, I did add a little bit of sugar, a little bit, like half a teaspoon of sugar, a pinch of Tussa silk fibers, and some sodium lactate at a rate of 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. So that is what's going on in here. And with the mango butter and the tallow, I'm expecting this to come to trace at a nice, moderately fast pace. Since those two oils do tend to move along, we shall see. And I am soaping at about 100 degrees. Both the lye and the oils were hovering right at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm just pulsing and pausing just to get a feel for what we're dealing with here. Ooh, that is caramel colored. Love it. We are back. It has actually been a couple of days since we got this in the mold, and I am shocked that it isn't getting any darker than this. I really thought this was going to go very brown. I'm delighted though. This is a very gingerbread looking color to me. So this is the extra batter that I kind of scraped off the top. It was really thick but workable. So this recipe today moves quickly, but it's workable. I'm glad I wasn't trying to do a swirl. Let's just say that. And you can see, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, a little bit of shimmer and sparkle in here. Anyway, I'm happy. This is a gingerbread color to me. So I'm going to get these out of the mold. Here, let's unmold a few together. And then I'm going to take my vegetable peeler, my really low-tech way to clean up the harsh edges on these. And then we will get to our mica painting and putting some, definition and making these little gingerbread people cute. Oh my word, she's adorable. Okay, so they are going to darken up a little. You can see the difference. This one I popped out of the mold the next morning, so it's been exposed to the air. So she's going to darken up just a little, which is fine and wonderful. You can see where it was getting thick. I tapped this down and pushed it in with my spatula, but we got a few little, air pockets, but it didn't come out on the front of her, which I'm so happy. This is going to be fun. So all the little indentation and details will come in with mica paint to make her look really cute. Let's see, let's get one of our little guys out here and see how he's looking. There we go. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Ah, they're so cute. All right, and here's how, before I get them out, I'll just show you real quick. I'm just gonna take my vegetable peeler and knock down any sharp edges, just so they're more comfortable in your hand. Once these cure and get really, really hard, those sharp edges don't feel very good. So anything that's kind of sharp or sticking up, I'm gonna go ahead and knock off with my vegetable peeler. All right, we are back. It is time to decorate our little ginger people here. And the way that I'm going to do that is make a paste or a thick paint consistency out of these micas and some rubbing alcohol. You can use 70%, 99%. I have 91%. So the percentage of isopropyl alcohol is not super important. The higher percent, it will evaporate faster. So it's not a big deal. But we got our little Dixie cups here. We're going to make a little, I like it to be kind of thick, and then we can paint. These are makeup brushes that I wasn't using that are just for the soap studio. I've never used makeup on these, so they're only for soaping projects. This one is a little bit big and fluffy. I don't think I'm going to use it. I have this little fine tipped, I think it was like an eyeliner type brush, but it is great for mica painting in small spaces, so I think I'll be using that to sort of come in with different colors and paint. So that is the plan here. And I've only chosen 3 colors, Christmassy colors. I have a red. This is Red Vibrance. This is from Nurture Soap, which is now called Nurture Handmade. And this is a gorgeous shimmery red color. And then from Workshop Heritage, where I get my big triple skinny mold from, they also sell micas. I have this, let's see. Okay. I have this jungle green, but I thought it was a beautiful foresty green to go with that red. And then again from Nurture Soap or Nurture Handmade, Shimmer Gold Mica. This is my favorite gold mica. So I thought between these 3 colors, I can do different paintings on their little faces and their bodies and kind of get that Christmassy gingerbread theme across. So it's really as simple as I'm going to put my micas into each cup, and then I will just add the alcohol in little bursts till I get a nice kind of thick paint consistency. I don't want it too runny or it can like bleed out. So I'm going for thick. And it doesn't take much mica. That's probably, well, that is way more mica than I need. So, and mica's not cheap. These are, it's not inexpensive. So you can use a lot less than that. There we go. Probably half a teaspoon. All right, and another high-tech soaping tool here is a chopstick, and I use this for all kinds of things, from cleaning the rims of my molds to swirls, and now we're going to use it as a mica stick blender. So sometimes the simplest tools, like my baby spoon and my chopstick, are tools that I use most of the time in my soaping studio. Some of my most loved tools are the simplest. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just eyeballing this. Again, it's just trying to get a nice pasty consistency, and that's probably too much. I probably added a teaspoon of alcohol, probably only needed a half a teaspoon, but it'll do. We're not gonna be mad at that. This is just one of those sort of loosey-goosey things. This would be so fun to do with little people. They love to paint. This is a great project. The soap has already saponified. Everybody's good. So just decorating these, and it's sugar-free. If you do real gingerbread men with them, you got all the sugar high and everybody gets ants in their pants. This way you don't have that lovely sugar rush afterwards, right? All right, that's a little thicker. Had to go a little easier on it. So I don't know if you can see, but it's just kind of thick. I like that better. And that's looking just about perfect. I love that shimmer gold. It is so, so pretty. All right. And then I'll do one color at a time and then wash my little brush off in between so that I don't double dip it into the different colors. Pretty easy peasy. So let me decide. Let me take my first little lady here. Let's give her a red bow. And if you want to paint down the sides, you can. I think I'm just going to paint on the face. But you could take it all the way down to the sides if you wanted to. Easy peasy, adding a little dimension. And she has a little apron on here. So let's give her, let me wipe this off. Let's give her a green one. I know I said I was going to do one at a time, but since I've got her here, let's just do one fully and then I'll go around and do the rest. And this is the thinner mica, and you can see it kind of spreads easy. I wish it was just a little thicker, but it is still working fine. All right, she has a little green apron. So cute. I should have my reading glasses on doing this, I'm realizing. They are all painted up, and I think they are quite adorable. I couldn't be happier with how these came out, and they'll darken up a little bit. And I wanted to say the fragrance at a 5%, these smell fantastic today, and they do have that sort of spicy gingerbread undertone. So they smell great. I think they look really, really cute. So I hope you give the recipe a try and be prepared for a fast-moving recipe if you do use it. And I hope you have a wonderful day.